You ever just feel completely exhausted by this constant, nagging pressure to self-improve? That need to level up, be better, optimize every single part of your life? If all that talk just leaves you feeling more worn out than inspired, trust me, you are not alone. So let's get into it. Let's unpack why this pressure is so intense and maybe find a more peaceful way to think about growth.
I mean, that's the perfect way to put it, isn't it? This idea that you're just inherently incomplete, like a piece of software that's never quite finished, always waiting for that next patch to fix all your bugs. But what if that's not the point? What if the goal isn't to become some perfect final version of you?
And yeah, that feeling, it's big business. Just look at this number. We're talking about a $46 billion global industry in 2024. An industry that, let's be honest, kind of banks on our insecurities. It thrives on that feeling that we always need fixing.
Which brings us to this idea of the self-improvement treadmill. It's this endless cycle where you're constantly chasing better, but it never actually leads to any lasting peace or satisfaction. You just get stuck in this loop, always feeling like you're not quite good enough.
This quote just hits so hard. When we start seeing ourselves as a project, our value suddenly becomes conditional. It's like we're only worthy after the project is done. But of course, the finish line just keeps moving, doesn't it? So we're left in this state of permanent, dusty construction.
So, how on earth did we get here? It's really important to know that this whole idea of self-discovery, it wasn't always like this. Let's take a quick look back at how this whole thing has changed over time. For centuries, you had ancient traditions like Buddhism and Stoicism. Their whole focus was on things like inner peace, being a good person, and contributing to your community. Then fast forward to the Industrial Revolution, and you get books like Samuel Smiles' Self-Help, which really shifted the focus to individual success and hard work. By the 1970s and 80s, bam, it exploded into the commercial, product-driven machine we know today.
And you can really see the massive difference right here. Ancient wisdom started from the idea that you are already whole. You're just looking for balance. The modern industry, it often starts from the opposite place. You're broken. You need a fix. You need to be optimized for peak performance. The focus totally shifted from community and contribution to just individual achievement. And that pressure to achieve as an individual, well, it's been cranked up to a whole new level in our world today. Thanks, in large part, to social media and the incredibly narrow picture of success it paints for us.
That is such a powerful way to describe it. It's like social media has designed this one single prototype of a successful human, right? They're always productive, perfectly fit, traveling, super happy, and it feels like we're all being pushed through a factory, expected to come out matching that exact template. If you don't, well, it feels like a personal failure.
There was a sociologist named Irving Goffman who called this impression management, this idea that we're always performing for an audience. Social media puts that on steroids. It just fuels this nonstop comparison game. It makes us compete when we should be connecting. And all the research shows this has a real damaging effect on our self-image, especially for younger people.
Okay, so if we're all stuck on this crazy treadmill chasing some impossible ideal, what's really going on underneath it all? What's the real human need that's driving us? Well, the sources for this explainer suggest it's something way more fundamental than just achievement. It's the need to matter. And a lot of times, this drive shows up as what we can call toxic achievement. Now, this is not the same as healthy ambition. This is when you're chasing goal after goal after goal because deep down, you feel worthless without them. You hit the goal, but that empty feeling is still there, so you just frantically set a new one. It's a chase that never, ever satisfies.
The real antidote to that toxic cycle is mattering. This is a core psychological need that every single one of us has. It's that feeling of being significant, of being valued by other people just for being you, and feeling like you're relied on to make a meaningful contribution. It's knowing your existence actually makes a difference to someone.
And this is why it is so critical. Feeling like you matter isn't some fluffy, nice-to-have idea. No, it's a powerful psychological shield. It's the lifebuoy that keeps your head above water when things get rough. When that need isn't met, that's when you see deep loneliness and despair kick in. Some researchers even say it's more fundamental than our basic needs for food and shelter.
Okay, so if mattering is the secret ingredient, how do we actually build it? Not just for ourselves, but for the people we care about. Well, the good news is it's not about huge grand gestures. It's actually all about small, everyday, intentional actions.
So here are 5 really powerful ways to start. 1. Tell your failure stories. It helps normalize imperfection for everyone around you. 2.
Ask people for their opinion or advice. It is such a simple way to say, hey, your perspective has value to me. 3. Make a conscious choice to put connection ahead of perfection. 4. Focus on your intrinsic values, like kindness or curiosity, not just external ones, like a job title. And 5. Create a never worry alone rule with your people, so they know they can always rely on you.
I love this. It's such a practical, amazing tip for any parent, partner, or friend. Before you jump into the performance stuff, how was the test? Did you finish the project? Just lead with the human stuff. How are you feeling? It sends this incredibly powerful message. I value you, not your achievements. Your worth here is unconditional.
Now, this ratio points to something really fascinating about our brains. Research shows that criticism or negative feedback lands about 5 times harder than praise. So, to make someone really, truly feel valued and seen, you need to aim for a ratio of about 5 positive, affirming interactions for every 1 piece of criticism. And remember, always critique the action, never the person.
So maybe, after all of this, the biggest breakthrough is this paradox right here. The ultimate form of self-development isn't adding another habit or chasing another goal. Maybe it's about breaking free from the need to constantly develop. It's about finding peace with the person you are, right now, flaws and all, and knowing that you already matter.
And that leaves us with one final thought. As you go about your life, just ask yourself this question. Is the way you're growing fueled by a sense of peace and progress? Or is it a frantic, anxious race to prove you're good enough? The answer to that, well, it might just change everything.